What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Now, I should be honest, this says it's a tutorial, but it's technically a little clickbait. This is still going to be going over how the Backrooms map has been made, but this is more so a teaser in regards to the fact that I'm going to be doing tutorials, God, I can't speak, on each of the individual Backrooms levels. Now, I'll get into that more so later. I just want to start by saying this map is not a solo project. For those of you who have been following the streams, you've seen a lot of how this has kind of gone down. I am just here with the credits, and here is, I think, everybody. I'm thinking somebody didn't put their... Oh, I know who didn't put their name on. Do I? Maybe there's two. But regardless, yeah, I'll leave all of the channels for people that actually do post content in the description, at least that I can find. If I miss you, just like say something in the comments and I can get your channel in if I couldn't find it or something. But anyway, yeah, so this isn't actually the Backrooms. This is just like the little area, and this has been a combination of a bunch of different sources. I'll leave, again, some of them in the description. This better be a long description. And this map has one teleporter. And it's that. This has not been a map that... Now, I'll start by saying, actually, you technically shouldn't do it the way that we've done it here. But I wanted to keep everything sort of connected. And so, technically, Backrooms isn't linear or logically spaced in any sense. However, I thought it'd be funny to do that. Well, funny is one word, but, yeah, so that's what we've ended up doing. Every single level connects. You can essentially get from any level to any other level eventually. It does all loop. Like, you can essentially get from 0 down to 80, then up to 11, and I think you should be able to get back to 0 from 11. I'm trying to think, yeah, because I think you could go fun. Can you go anywhere from fun? I forget. I don't know if fun has an exit right now that goes back this way. But yeah, so the main thing was we started with 0 and we just kind of branched off. And our main source has been the Backrooms fandom. Now, I realized there's like a bunch of different sources. This was just the one that I ended up finding. And really, at first, I just scrolled through and looked at a bunch of levels that I found interesting. And as we've built more, we've found sub-levels for them, like this right here is the cubicles, I want to say it's called. That's a barrier in my face. But yeah, this is the cubicles. It's a sub-level for level 4. And yeah, we've basically just continued to build off and found levels that may or may not connect to other levels. Basically, our logic has been, does it make sense to connect to this level? Yes or no. And if it does, then we connect it. If it doesn't, then we save it for a different level's connection. Does not mean we have to find it on a source that says it connects these levels together. It's more so just our own interpretation of it. Obviously, some situations, yes. Like, we have the hub here, which does connect to every level. The only difference between the actual cannon hub and this one is that this one isn't labeled, because I found that would be, in an escape sense, too easy to just run through and say, oh yeah, level the end, and go straight to it. But it doesn't connect to level end as of right now. At least it might eventually, but right now it doesn't. Because you can find it just off of level 1. And so I was like, go 0, 1, and then just straight to the end doesn't really seem particularly fair unless, you know, you get the chance, the odds, then sure, you get them. Another thing has been with the spacing, certain levels have skies, and in this sense, how do we, or what do we like particularly value as the levels that should have these sky views? And those end up being the levels that are the surface levels, I'll call them. It doesn't mean that they're the exit levels, it just means that they're at the top of the world, and they're, you know, where you can see the night sky in this sense. Normally it'd be sunset, but I keep it night sometimes because sunset under the map is really weird with lighting and vibrant visuals. But yeah, all these levels, this is 39, this is 11, 10 is down there, so is 94. Yeah, all of them are on the surface and are those main levels. Other ones that are dark are like this giant one here, which is 410. It's just a giant black box. And you see if I break in here, I'm going to break right over it, aren't I? Oh, no, I'm not. It was close, though. This is, I forget what the name of it is, but it's like basically Blood Cabin. Blood Moon? Is that what it's called? It might just be called Blood Moon. You've got the moon, which is made out of redstone, so with vibrant visuals, it glows. and you've got all of the cabins, and basically it's a maze. Some levels like this, there's not a lot on because they're more obscure quote-unquote levels, and the wiki just gives you a rough description and doesn't really have any images. So I took what images there was and kind of just what was in my mind for it and combined it into at least this. Wasn't really my original thought. Generally, as I'm building, I have like a thought in my brain, and a lot of the times I will veer off of it to do something a little bit easier. The difference here was that the cabins are on stilts here rather than being on their own, like each individual little uh, sculpted islands. I wanted to say sculptured, but that just didn't sound right. And so, again, there are certain levels that you can access canonically from like every level, or like they just randomly appear. So, you'll pick a couple levels that will go off of that one. For example, level run here. Our main entrance is 410. One of the, I think it's Asylum, will end up also leading to it. And was there another one? I don't know if there was. You see this entrance here, which was made and doesn't connect to anything, so that's good. But yeah, really it's just been a whole lot of finding levels just as you're scrolling, whatever. And really, my main way to start finding levels from this point, especially after we've gotten all the levels that are known done, and the ones that I just found through my scrolling, is go to certain levels that don't have exits, and scroll down and look at what the fandom has as their entrances and exits, and it'll essentially say, oh, it's level 73 and 92 or whatever, and I can just click on them from that and see if either or any of those levels are interesting, and then I can just build off from there. Yeah. Eventually, not yet, we will get to custom levels. We don't have any yet, but there's a couple that I'm working towards right now. I want to do a pool rooms variant one, and yeah, a couple others. So really, this has been a map of just letting the people who are involved in it just kind of do whatever, have fun, get creative. Obviously, I help guide some cases and will help make those decisions because, at the end of the day, I kind of am the one who started this project and sort of own it, not fully, but, I do give free reign for the most part for what can and can't be done. It just has to go under a certain criteria because that's how I am with maps in general. But yeah, it really has been fun to see, especially because this ended up being a map to where, again, we all started on level 0 and just expanded out. And, while I'm working on, 2 levels in a certain path, Horathon or whoever will be working a different direction, and it's kind of expanded out from the center, and you have different people working on different levels at all times, which has really, I think, made it go a lot quicker. One thing that is hard at this point is that we've started so many levels and not finished them, to where we'll have, like, look, we've got level 9 here, which is a good amount, but, like, this is not even a portion of it. This is one room for 9, and granted the other rooms might all be sub-levels, so it might work differently, but, and even 0 still needs to be extended and closed off in certain areas. Like, I could probably find an open path here. We got this 0 sub-level that I think Gamga made that hasn't been done yet. Yeah, you see here's an opening just out into the world. So, as you move further, you definitely forget those things. My recommendation for avoiding that is get to a certain point, even if it's not your end point for a level, to where you can close everything off, and then if you want to expand it later, you can just punch holes in all the walls and extend it a little bit more. It's been something that I generally don't do in this kind of situation because I like to finish a lot of the levels. Like 4, which is right here, is completely done. I don't have any more than I need to do for 4. So, yeah, but it really depends on the level for what you or how you want to approach it. Like, obviously, certain ones like the ocean and the city, you kind of could just leave it open on the ends because either you're going to have another level connect to that end or you're going to extend it further, and if you're not sure, then you can just leave that open. But it's nice to have a general idea. Another thing that I've been doing is in the Discord server, I've been keeping a list of levels that we want to build, and also, in some situations, certain spots for those levels. Like, you see this beacon right here that I have, And it's some levels, like 50? Oh, it's 22, never mind. And don't forget Labyrinth Hall, which is just something for 1 specifically that would be talked about in the 1 tutorial. And yeah, just having those markers is helpful because you can look and say, okay, is there a level that I want to start right now? What can I do? And yeah, this is the 50, yeah, 54. And then yeah, you can just, go with that. Another thing that's been helpful with a level like 11, or I think this is just 50, is structure blocking. This map would not be able to be done without structure blocking. I'll just fly through 11 as I talk real quick so you can see how massive this level is. Yeah, structure blocking and just recreating tiles over and over again for some levels is definitely good. I think 11 could definitely do with some variation in the skyscrapers, but I honestly don't mind it all being the same because there's some sort of just almost insanity feeling with that comes with walking through a city for like an hour straight and not seeing anything different. But yeah, and same with like 10, but 10 you can't really tell as much because of it all being a field, which we're about to reach 10. Yeah, there it is loading in. You can't notice it as much because it's just all over the place. Laggy also, but all over the place. And same with the 10 sub-level over here, but yeah, you can sort of see like the hay bales kind of being repeated if you look. But again, really it's not that much. And adding small variations within those tiles after you're done filling them out is always good. But yeah, here's I want to say this is 10.99 if I remember. So obviously this Backrooms map is not done, and that does mean that with doing tutorials on each of the specific levels, we're going to have levels that we're going to have to either stop for or skip and come back to later. Not every level obviously in the Backrooms will be made. There are millions of levels and just things out there to a point to where it's not really possible to make. Now, for the level tutorials, these aren't going to be block for block. Because of the Backrooms being a randomized thing, I want you to think a little bit more. I'll be giving ideas to help with that. I'll be giving block palettes. For certain rooms, I will do block for block, just because I think that, sometimes it is definitely good to have that, especially for levels like 1, where you have that, normal room that everybody is used to seeing. But you shouldn't, I think, rely on that a lot of the time for something like this, because, again, block for block just doesn't quite make sense. Backrooms is, especially when you're trying to build it in Minecraft, is definitely about using a lot of that creative thought and just kind of going with whatever you find as fun. Now, the other thing that's special about this is, assuming I can get people on board, the helpers in this project will be in those videos on the levels that they were parts of, because I haven't touched every level, believe it or not. Like, I can't really think of levels, but I think level, what's the number, 6, Gomga has done entirely. Level 3, Horathon has almost done entirely up to the point that it's at. I think I help with decorating one hallway. But yeah, so for like those levels where I really have only been there just to maybe give a little bit of assistance or help with the critical thinking, or even just, help grind or fill something out or texture, I won't really be able to do a ton for the tutorials, so I'll have them help. But yeah, again, like for a room like this one with pool rooms, you see, I'm not doing this block for block, not even because it's too big, just because there's no real way to do it. I mean, I'll give a lot of guidance on pool rooms and how it's been done, since I have built the pool rooms twice now. Thanks Dirt City for that. But yeah, so that's really all. These tutorials will not start immediately. Hopefully soon, especially for some of these earlier levels. It won't really be like a crazy thing for me to go through. Like 0 won't really be long. 1 I think will be a little bit difficult. 2 I didn't even do, actually. I don't think I placed a single block in level 2. So yeah, but again, some of them might be short, some of them might be long. We'll just have to see. But anyway, that's all. Thank you all so much, guys. Did enjoy this here. That was a little bit of a shorter video and kind of a half teaser, half, hey guys, I'm doing tutorials on this map now, and here's some help if you want to make your own. And anyway, you can use this in conjunction with the other ones, obviously, as just some verbal assistance. And anyway, that being said, have a fantastic rest of your day, or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.